I remember many years back reading an article on the relationship between prostitution of girls and boys, playing around with girls and committing zina as well. The relationship between those two and the absence of a father. They said that many girls who go towards prostitution are going there because they are looking for love, acceptance, appreciation from the male figure. And the reason for that is because of the absence of her father. Allahu Akbar. It's ajib, right? This clearly shows us that the importance of the father being around. And I remember, subhanAllah, many years back, there was an event that I did in the UK. And the event was to get the youngsters, the youths, especially in the Somali community, Somalian youths and the Somalian parents. So we did an event where we called on to the Somali parents and the Somali youths. And we sat down to talk to the parents. The parents were told, the idea was to tell the parents what the youths in this country and the youngsters are now thinking. And for the children, the youths and the parents to have a conversation and talk about where things are going wrong. And it happened in Northwest London. What really hurt me and made me realize deeply the problem in the community is the absence of the father. That day, there was not one father who came and sat down. Imagine that. It was only mothers that were sitting there who were concerned about their children, who were concerned about the problem of their kids. And we know what's taking place in the UK. The stabbing and the killing and the murdering and the bloodshed that's taking place. We all know what's happening. We're aware of that. How is it possible that a father does not come to get a solution for his son or a solution for his daughter? It makes no sense. So your child's aspiration in life and what he wants to become, it's made at home. As they say, it's made in the kitchen. It's made in the living room. It's made in that four walls of your house. That's where the child becomes one who has high aspiration or one who doesn't have it. That is why your child is choosing low aspiration to imitate and mimic and impersonate rappers, musicians, TV presenters. That's why he's chosen that. And he hasn't lifted his head up to realize these people who are rappers and singers are truly despicable, irrelevant people who have no value other than making money from people by singing filthy things. Your child looks up to that. A Muslim, his name is Muhammad, Ahmed, Khalid, Zaid, Bakr. That's their names. And they're imitating a non-Muslim rapper who has no value other than what he's doing right now. That's all he's loved for, or he's liked for by those who like him. But if you look at him as a person, he is a alcoholic, drug addict, and your child is looking up to that type of person. Where did that low aspiration come from? Your name is Muhammad, and you're following a non-Muslim, despicable, filthy individual. Your child is following that. How is that possible? How did my child's low aspiration become that low? The reason for that is the parents. Many parents, their disciplining of their children is very, very bad. So they place in their children fear-mongering. That's what they do to their children. So they place fear in their children's hearts. They scare them with stories that they make up. And every community has those stories. In the Arabic language, in the Arab world, there's something they call ghoul. It's a type of shaitan. Somalis have those type of stories that you scare children with. And the child's scared of the dark. Your child's scared of the ifriyat. You're telling him to be scared of the jinns. And then later, and all of that, why are you doing it? You want the child to stop playing around and being a child. But really what you've just done right now is you've made your child have characteristics as fear and scared and terrified in life. You've now made your child scared. Then tomorrow when he grows up, you want to teach him, don't fear these things. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So what you're doing at the beginning, the seed you're planting, remember, it's growing. That seed, that flower, that plant is growing. And it enters many places. Why do you think your child's scared to go outside? Why is your child at home? He doesn't want to leave. Why is your child not going for interviews and jobs? Because he's scared of being turned down. Why are many children suffering from depression and anxieties? Why? Because the parent has put fear into the child. The parent has put into the child these qualities. Especially a lot of the parents who are scaring their children with people that they should make their children love, such as the doctor or the teacher or your father. That's the biggest, that's the one that the mothers do. Your father. So the child, instead of loving his father and appreciating his father, he fears his father, or he fears the teacher who he should have taken as a close friend and benefited from. The doctor who's going to help the child's health, you make him fear the people he should have loved and appreciated and want to be like them. You see what you're doing here? This is the problem. And from there comes what? What comes from it is the child becomes scared, terrified, that the child even runs away from his own shadow. He starts to become scared of those you should not be scared of. So many parents, what they do is they nurture their children upon al-muyu'ati wa taraf. They nurture their children upon this laziness and daddy, how are you? Like kind of rujula, strong, be strong, stand straight, don't stand sideways, stand straight. When you talk to me, look at me, don't look around. These qualities, they don't nurture their children. They nurture their children upon al-muyu'ati wa taraf. وَالْبَذْخِ وَالطَّيْشِ. They nurture their children upon these qualities. The child grows up with all of the blessings. Dad, I want this. Okay, here. Dad, I want this. Give me this. He gives it to them. He doesn't ask him, I'll give you what you want, but I need something in return. And what do you want? I need you to do this, and I'll give this to you. Why? That's very good. The child will learn that in this world that he lives in, nothing comes free. It's about working for things. It's about achieving and gaining things. Nothing comes for free. Your child will learn that. If you don't do that and you give him everything, when he goes into society, he's expecting everyone to give him what he wants. And if he doesn't get what he wants, because that's what he's used to, he will kick off a fuss. And he will not be able to live with the community and the society. And very important, wallahi, these things that we do as parents, it affects the child's life later. It affects everything about him. A lot of the parents, they nurture their children on giving the child whatever he asks for and doing what the child wants. And the child becomes selfish. The child only becomes concerned about himself. I won. He doesn't care about other people. So the child grows up not asking about his Muslim brothers. The child grows up not wanting to know the happiness of other people. It doesn't make him, he wants it for himself. Kullu shay. And he wouldn't participate in their good times and their moments. The child becomes like that. It destroys the child's dignity. It kills the child's steadfastness. وَيَقْضِي عَلَى شَهَامَةِ وَالشَّجَاعَةِ. It takes away from the child's courage and bravery. How many parents do we know who don't nurture their children upon what? عَلَى مَعَالِي الْأُمُورِ. High aspirations. وَإِنَّمَا يُرَبِّيهِمْ. But rather what they nurture their children is upon what? كَمَا تُرَبَّى. The way that you nurture an animal or a pet that they have at home. They don't set a high goal for the child. All that he thinks of his child's tarbiyah is food. What is my child going to drink? What is my child going to eat? That's it. The parent doesn't have any of that in his mind for his child. And from this, what comes out is a child who's what? You are now going to have a child who's dim-witted. A child who has low aspiration. A child who has no morality or dignity. From here, you are now raising your own enemy in your own household. Many people some people are opposite to what we mentioned. What do they do to their children? They are very harsh on their children. Cruel to their children. They show strictness to their children more than they should do. You see them hitting the child. They hit the child a beating that wounds the child, has marks on the child. For what, lacking? For the most basic things, he's beating his child up for it. And he goes overboard in disciplining the child. He does that for everything, whether it's small or it's little. He will beat his child up for everything. That's what you find many. From amongst the people is مَنْ يَهْزَأُ بِأَوْلَادِهِ وَلَا يَرَىٰ أَنَّهُمْ أَهْلُ لِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْمُكْرَمَاتِ. And this is the saddest one. You find some parents, they are belittling their children. When they see their child working hard and achieving something, they never ever show their child that they appreciate their child's hard work. I remember once upon a time, when I was very little, I felt that I wanted to please my parents. And there was a digital radio, and I wanted to clean it. I wanted to make my parents very happy. So what I did was I took a bucket of water and I poured it over the radio and it exploded. My aim was to take the water, to put it on there and then to clean it. But what happened? The water and electricity, and it exploded. One of the things that touched me was when my mother found out. She scolded me and I told her my reason. I said, Mama, I wasn't just pouring water into it. Or I wasn't pouring water over it. My reason was that I wanted to clean it for you, Mom. So parents need to understand that the maqsad of the child was very good, that you appreciate it. You thank the child for it. You say, no problem, you did a mistake, now you learn. Electricity and water don't come together, but your intentions were very good and I appreciate that. If you stop your child from that, you tell him off and you rebuke him for that, he will never come forward to try something for you. He won't. Show appreciation to your children, even if it's something small. Make it look that you appreciate it, that you see it. Your child comes and draws a picture for you. Appreciate the picture. Tell them how much it means to you and what they drew. Appreciate that. If your child tells you he memorized something, show them that you love it and you're happy with it. This is something important. There are some people, they don't have no conversation with their children. They don't want to have any dialogue with their children. Especially if you look at the elderly Somali parents, they feel degraded if they're told to talk to their children. It's a form, they feel degraded. He's a little kid, I don't sit with little kids, that's what he says. But remember, today he's young and you choose not to talk to him. When he becomes big and he becomes older, remember this can affect you as a parent. The way you abandoned him when he was young and you chose not to speak to him, it might most likely affect you when you grow older and you want to just talk to him. And he's like, you're too old for me, I can't talk to you. Remember, كَمَا تَدِينُ تُدَانُ. Your child, conversation, have it with him. Give him that time, laugh with him. Have that heart-to-heart conversation with him. These are qualities that, brothers and sisters, affects the child's tarbiyah. And when it affects the child's tarbiyah, your child's going to have high aspiration in life. Will work hard and be determined. He will be conspicuous. He will have resilience. He will have forbearance and patience and certainty in what he does. He will have courage and bravery. These are qualities that you will see in your child. You are the first teacher of your children. Think about what you're teaching them. I'm going to stop there, inshallah ta'ala. Anything which I have said that was wrong or incorrect is from me and shaitan. And Allah and His Messenger are both free from it. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdi ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.